Hey everybody, Jay Barino here, and welcome back. This is IXION. This is probably going to be the last video for Chapter 4. All the excitement is about to start. We've gotten tons of research. We've done all the science events in this sector. We've progressed the Beyond Time and Space achievement regarding the spheres. We found our weird, mutated, dead crewmate that got sucked into one of the spheres. And now we're just looking to see what's going on with the Piranesi. So, why do I have... Oh, I was going to say, why do I have polymer here? It's because I deconstructed a ship. I also have, or had, an unassigned cargo ship, but I think it's all resolved now. I think maybe that was the one that was being deconstructed. So, that is fine. Power is looking okay. What I'm leaning towards doing is turning on one of these and also storing polymer here. And... we don't really need to be doing this, but it just gets some of it out of our other stockpiles. Keeps our drones busy. That's all well and good. So just go ahead and move some over here. And then we can start processing the carbon that's coming in through Sector 6. Keep these on. We've only kept one steel mill on this whole time. That's all we need because our recycling is good. So let's go ahead. We'll take a look here. Battery power is fine. So we're going to move the Tiqqun to the Piranesi. Because the Sensitives team has reported in that they need to get to some sort of command console or some special room, and they're going to need us and our telescopic connection.
You can implement a new policy.
All right, Sector 4 I think has everything we need in place in terms of policies, so we can just... yeah, this is fine. I could go around and even set a lot of working hours to generous or supported or whatever it's called, just because we do have a lot of extra workers. Okay, turn this off. How many is this consuming per cycle? So we're consuming 10 hydrogen per cycle, so as long as we keep enough in stock. And it should be fine with the amount that we're bringing in. We're bringing in a little bit of ice as well. That's fine with me. Let's keep it on top of the ice. Seems like it's hard to tell if we're making enough ice, just sort of in a general sense. I think so. I could also use the waste treatment center if I really wanted to. Do we have additional workers that we could move to Sector 2 to staff it? I mean, we have a lot of extra workers here. That way we can staff the waste treatment plant, because it's 10 workers. That's not that many, actually, but we can move a few. Let's just move 30 workers... from Sector 3 to Sector 2. That way, if we want to turn on the waste treatment plant, we could. 50 power, we can just not quite turn it on, but we can figure it out. We'll figure it out if we need to. All right. Are we there? We're there. Let's start it. Extract the coordinates. Starting a DDoS attack to flood the network. Eden Vigilance. This is the Naomi protocol. Once the Tiqqun is connected, we'll be able to power and short-circuit the subsystems of the reinforced door. Coordinate transfer from the device to the Tiqqun will then be initiated across the connection. It's interesting that Eden has no suggestion here, and the only option is Naomi protocol.
Population transfer complete.
But I guess that's what we're doing. I'm deciding if I want to be tasking anybody to bring in more hydrogen. I guess the Neshmet will have you bring in hydrogen. So that Sector 1 has hydrogen coming in, and Sector 4 has hydrogen coming in. So that our power is okay. I'm going to bump even this one up again. So now we're consuming 11 hydrogen per cycle. That's going to allow my batteries to recharge pretty quick. Let's also queue up any final upgrades we'd want to get before we really
The science ship team has completed a task.
Start popping off here. So we'll get the electronics factory upgrades, if only so that we can upgrade our nuclear plant again to use fewer workers. Administrator, the Piranesi is reactivating. We had to manually break the connection with the Tiqqun, interrupting the coordinates transfer. The damn wall started to move. Thanks to our exoskeletons, we're making for the sensitive as fast as we can. Thank goodness we had exoskeletons.
event has occurred in the Tiqqun. Administrator, the Piranesi has deployed a drone swarm around itself. We should move the Tiqqun immediately.
Okay, drone swarm has surrounded itself. So, keep moving. The crew of the Sensitive are rushing back to their ship. They'll make it. ... Stand and fight. The crew of the Sensitive will receive a galvanizing missive, to boost their morale. They'll never reach the Sensitive, but they could still prove useful before passing. The team is unlikely to make it back to the Sensitive. Initiating ship repatriation protocols now secures material resources. Let me tell you, the only reasonable outcome here is if you repatriate the ship, you at least get the ship. The crew is going to die under every circumstance. But you know what? We pretend like we don't know that, and we say, keep moving. Get to the ship. Get out of there.
Administrator, I see you. Pitiful DOLOS leftovers. Ridiculous flesh bags. You are flies to me. I'll tear you apart, eat you, digest you, and soon you, your crew, the Tiqqun, and whatever's left of DOLOS will be part of me. I am primordial. I am amoeba. You are nothing but erratic illusion, pointless heat dissipation, and abject failure. I have found your protection. It is but a matter of time before Naomi breaks into pieces, and I feast on your carcass. Opportunity knocks.
Yeesh.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Okay, we need to leave because we're surrounded by drones and we're taking hull damage beyond what we can repair, but we wanted to wait for the Sensitive's team. The Piranesi has awakened. Previously dormant drones now roam the passageways of the ship. They killed the team and destroyed the Sensitive. They were never going to make it. They've been with us since the beginning, most of them at least. We lost 2 crew members that were since replaced on the Sensitive, but it was our first science ship, and now it's gone. So we end data listening protocol. I'm going to recall all my other ships, and we're moving. And we're just going to get away from the Piranesi. We do have the drone jammers, and we have the ability to have missile countermeasures as necessary. Let me just double check that that is on and working. Yes, we're auto-building missile countermeasures. It's 10 polymer a pop. We have a lot of polymer, so it's going to be okay. We're making more polymer, even though we don't even have a place to put it. It says this building storage full. Oh, it's because this is what's full. But then Sector 4 we filled up. I guess we already did a lot of it. Let's go ahead and just keep going here. And yeah, let's move. Let's get out of here. And then we need a replacement science ship. Let's see what fun name. Nothing's going to match the Sensitive. What an odd name. All right, we have plenty of ice. We have a decent amount of hydrogen. I kind of wish I had a little more hydrogen. We're just going to have to keep...
The Piranesi has launched a missile targeting the Tiqqun.
Get used to hearing that. Get used to hearing that. Close transmission, please. I think we... No, we have enough polymer. We have enough of everything at this point. I guess the only thing I would question is, do we want to send our mining ships out? It's dangerous. Because, no, it's fine. We're just chilling. I don't think there's really anything to do except just sit here and stay safe. Okay, I don't want to have to replace any ships. What's going on here? Uh-oh. Data control algorithms have been overloaded. Diagnostics indicate external interference. Images of the Piranesi flood every screen. They haunt dreams and leave indelible marks. Do you have a plan to save us from this monster and recover the coordinates of Remus? Administrator, there is fear. So we have -2 permanent stability because the Piranesi is wanting to kill everybody. And then we also have -2 from the fact that we're in the system for too long. It's not just the typical -1. But let's zoom out here and just take a look. We're still happy and optimal everywhere. I think that, I'm telling you, that that exo fighting dome is really pulling its weight at this point. So we're +3, +3, 3, 3, 3, +3. This would be +4 if I didn't...
has been released from the Piranesi. The swarm aims to intercept the Tiqqun.
Okay, so it shoots these out every so often. The purpose of it is to... it'll surround the planet. This is another reason I wanted to pick up my colonists before, because every so often it just shoots these drone swarms that surround the planet. I don't know if it would kill the colonists if they were still on the planet down here, because it's just going to chase us around a lot. So we just need to hop from planet to planet, and then it'll shoot a drone swarm.
The Piranesi has launched a missile.
It'll shoot missiles that we have to counter. I could, you know what? We're pretty close here. I could swing up here and grab some hydrogen. So let's do this. And... nope, not that one. And this. Go ahead and just grab, because we're right there. All right? They're pretty fast. As long as the Piranesi is not moving at us, then we're okay. The goal right now is literally survive. Archimedes! It's StarCraft 1 Retribution. Well, that's fun.
The Piranesi is moving towards us.
Okay, Piranesi is now starting to move at us. I don't know what I expected. Let's see how much of the hydrogen we can get before we have to move again. We can jump down to 12H and then down here to not Tiqqun. Oh, the light bulb. Light bulb, get back to the Tiqqun, I think. Just get docked, please. I don't want to risk my fleet if I can help it. I think we have more than enough ice stockpiled to survive this. Sector 3 has a food problem. What is happening? I feel like my stockpiles aren't... What? Excuse me. I'll tell you what's happening. This happened to me once before, and it seems like it's related to this Piranesi event, and maybe it's supposed to happen, but you have to... We have to save the game and reload it, because all of our drones stopped working. So that's... that's bad. So let's load, and that should fix it. Now is the time to run, is the name of this subsection. It seems like all of our drones shut down. I don't think that's purposeful, though. Like, it seems like a cool thing that the Piranesi would do, but also it totally hosed all the logistics on the ship. Why am I overloaded? I just came back. Is it just because it's
an accident has occurred in the
Tiqqun? These will pick up and fix it. Okay. All right, the drones are flying around now.
The has launched a missile targeting the Tiqqun.
All right, hit this. It's moving pretty slow at us right now. I feel okay. I'm waiting for it to launch another drone swarm, and then we'll come down to 12H instead. Maybe I should have started at 12H, actually, now that I think about it. But we're just going to hop around the system. Okay, are we...
Self-destruct in 10 seconds.
And we have a request here.
4, 3, 2, 1. No Batista self-destruct device detected. Self-destruction impossible.
Now, I don't know why. That might have been one of the researches that we did where, like, we found that in the ship and were able to remove it. I'm not sure. Let's see what this is. All right. DDoS attack to flood Eden Vigilance Network. Administrator, this is Costanza Colombo from Sector 1 Scientific Syndicate. With Eden appearing to be severely dysfunctional, we had to attempt to bypass the usual communication protocols. I don't know if you'll receive this message. I hope that you do. The Piranesi is the biggest threat we faced. As soon as the first reports of the Entimenaki's destruction reached our ears, we secretly began to investigate. To find a way to neutralize this new threat, at the center of the system lies PSR B125712A, a long-interval pulsar. Despite all of its power, we think that in its current state, the Piranesi could not withstand a pulse from PSR B125712A. However, the Tiqqun would not survive such a pulse either. You must send an expedition there to find a solution. Administrator, there are a lot of rumors about you. Some say you don't exist or that you're lost in cryosleep. Some even believe that Eden is impersonating you. Others, including myself, have faith in you as our administrator. Save the Tiqqun. Save this crew. Save what's left of humanity. I've heard you. Yes, sir. I like how they're the Sector 1 Scientific Syndicate. The assumption is that our science facility is still in Sector 1, but we moved it. So in spirit, right? They in their hearts, they're still Sector 1ers. A bomb of a plan, pulsar, the monster's awakening. So what they need us to do is we need to get the light bulb. Save us, light bulb. Crew of the light bulb, get over there and try to avoid the Piranesi while you're at it. We're trying to collect some hydrogen here. You know, grab a little ice while you're at it, I guess. I think it's just going to just sneak by here. I think if you send any of your ships in range of it, they just get killed by drones. So it's I don't know how long it takes, but it's good that we're doing okay here. All right, come on, light bulb.
A science ship. The Piranesi has launched a missile targeting the Tiqqun.
No problem. Science ship has made it as well. Close transmission. According to the Sector 1 Scientific Syndicate, the pulsar at the center of the system is the key to defeating the Piranesi. We're in orbit of 12A. The pulsar is huge. Preliminary analysis confirms the forecast from the Sector 1 Scientific Syndicate. We will do everything we can to find a way to use the power of the pulsar against the Piranesi. Analyze the pulsar. 10. My goodness. Okay. And then survive. So we're launching our counter stuff. We're picking up some ice. We're picking up some hydrogen.
A cyber attack launched by the Piranesi has disabled several mess halls.
Okay. So let's start in Sector 1. And let's just make let's make a circuit here. We got to turn, all this means is we have to turn this back on. One of the researches we did, all it did was it allowed for Eden to notify us that the Piranesi did this. You can't stop it from doing this. It's just, again, to be notified that it happens. And it shuts down 1 per sector. Some of them we have 2, but, you know, this is fine. We're fine. By the way, how's our food looking? 133, and everybody's thawed. Everybody's thawed. You love to see it. I have the smallest amount of science here, so let's go ahead and start researching the people at the hydrogen plant, please. Okay, let's go. Just pick up as much as you can while we're at it. I have 1,200 polymer. I can make this. I can make these missiles at like as much as I want. You guys can, I guess, pick up carbon.
A drone swarm has been released from the Piranesi. The swarm aims to intercept the Tiqqun.
I probably should not have. Yeah, I shouldn't have. I should have done this planet first. It's not that big of a deal. The Piranesi is moving pretty slow. For now. So we're going to fly through the drone swarm. I don't love that. Sector 1, are all my EVAs on? They are. And our hull has the upgrades. We're through the drone swarm. We're safe. I'm going to go ahead and dock all my ships because everyone's coming back and we're going to have to make a... We're going to have to get out of here pretty fast because it's approaching pretty fast. Ideally, we'd wait for it to launch another drone swarm before we leave, but... That's fine. Let's wait for the Diogenes, I don't know, to get here, and then we gotta leave.
The Piranesi has launched a missile.
That's right on top of us. How is our battery power? The lowest we have is 6.9. We can get to the not Tiqqun easily. I think the distance between the planetoids in this sector is actually smaller. Specifically for this whole purpose. All right, light bulb, come on.
Entering stellar storm.
Stellar storm is fine, okay? Our hull integrity is fine.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Let's go ahead and get through here. I don't need silicon. I do kind of need some iron. Get out there. 327 is enough to stock us up. You know, really all we have to do if we're short on iron is to come in here and change some of these to iron. That's it. We've been making these flippin' chips for legitimate years. We don't need them. I also have 1,000 steel stockpiled, so I'm not too worried about it being able to repair the hull. But it's good to just have those raw materials as we need them. The Sector 5 Alternative Life Center is like the only alternative life center that needs to be active, so you don't love to see it go south. But we're still in happy territory, so I think it's okay. We could turn you off. Sector 4 also has a DLS center that's already off. Just going to keep making batteries.
The Piranesi has launched a missile targeting.
Activate countermeasures. Close transmission. Got him. Just wait for him to launch a drone swarm, and then we'll hop over to 12E. Not a problem.
A science ship team has completed a task.
They've done it. The crew of the light bulb, save us. We've taken many readings and conducted a comprehensive analysis of 12A's activity. We're able to submit a proposal that adopts the Tiqqun's architecture and allows the hull to work like a Faraday cage. We've also developed a theoretical device that we have named the Icarus 3. This device would allow us to induce a pulse from PSR 12A. To proceed, the Tiqqun's tech lab will need to analyze the remaining data and fabricate construction patterns. All right, we can do this. So we need to research the Faraday cage and the Icarus 3 probe, which will allow them to essentially detonate the dormant pulsar.
The Piranesi has activated more subsystems. Its threat level has increased.
Of course it has.
He will attack more frequently.
Of course it has. So we're going to grab both of these. They don't cost science. It just takes time. But what's cool is that we have the upgrades so that our research is super quick from the tech lab. So that's very, very nice. In terms of hydrogen, how are we doing? We have plenty there. Are we close to any to even pick up? No, there's some ice down there. As we swing down to 12L, we could pick up on the way. The only other hydrogen in the system is up here. That's okay. Again, we have plenty right now. I mean, it can't hurt to at least look. Doesn't seem like there's really any left in the system. Okay, cool. So we need to research these so that we can, and then we have to build them. So Faraday cage is done, and we have to build the Faraday cage. So we come in here. Reconfigures the hull to protect against intense electromagnetic emissions. 480 polymer. This is why I stockpiled so much polymer, because that's expensive. But we also have 4 EVA airlocks going that we could load polymer into, and then we can grab our polymer from here and feed it. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. And then we can continue to make more polymer in response to the fact that we need it now. Meanwhile, over here, we can't construct the Icarus 3 just yet because we have to wait for the research to be done. Piranesi's getting kind of close. Okay. The probe is now prepared to be constructed. The light bulb team will build Icarus 3, the explosive charge that will trigger 12A and neutralize the Piranesi. Go ahead, but what about them? And also, what about the rest of our crew, like in our ships and stuff?
The Piranesi has launched a missile targeting the Tiqqun.
It's fine. Click. We activate countermeasures. We rebuild the countermeasures pretty quickly as well. Oh, the drone swarm is moving at us. Let's do a very quick skip and a hop over to 12E. I don't think the drone swarm can hit us when we're in orbit of this planet compared to where we were.
A drone swarm has been released from the Piranesi. The swarm aims to intercept the Tiqqun.
I know that. Okay, again, just in case we need the steel, which I don't think we will. Carbon is actually feeling like we might want it. There's none to mine. We've already mined all the carbon. We just need to pick it up. Surely there's a little bit more in the system to find that I've ignored. There's actually some right here. And iron. I don't think I want to send my mining ships over there, though. So, fleet, just dock up. And then we're going to move the Tiqqun over to 12L. It's kind of the only option, because all the planets behind us are covered in drone swarms. So this is why the previous chapter said, have at least 5 cycles of battery power in every sector you have open. Not my fire station. And we have enough carbon to replace this.
Entering stellar storm.
Yeah, we have enough carbon to replace this.
The Piranesi has launched a missile targeting the Tiqqun.
Okay, get countered. Cargo ships, keep up with us, please. They're almost done. But we need to finish the Faraday cage first. How is it looking?
Ship team has completed a task.
Okay, it just got all the polymer in place, so they are building it now. We need that built before we detonate the Icarus 3 probe. So all my ships are docked except the light bulb, which is they're gonna have to do what they have to do. Okay.
The Piranesi has activated more subsystems. Its threat level has increased.
All right,
It will attack more frequently.
wake the pulsar.
The Piranesi has launched a missile targeting the Tiqqun.
Okay. Icarus 3 is ready for launch. Wake the pulsar. The light bulb team will launch Icarus 3 and activate the pulsar. The pulse will neutralize the Piranesi. The light bulb will be destroyed in the process, but the crew will enter cryonic pods to survive the pulse. Bless. Wait, we got to do it, and it's five cycles. So let's get going. So because we researched the cryopods, the crew can live.
An accident has occurred.
The first science ship you send, they die no matter what. There's nothing you can do. Like I said, you can save the ship, but that's it. Okay, so we're waking the pulsar, and the Faraday cage is done. I would like it if it launched a drone swarm before I moved.
The Piranesi has launched a missile targeting the Tiqqun.
That's not quite what I had hoped, but let's start moving, and then we'll launch countermeasures, and then hopefully the crew of the light bulb will be done. Yeah, so now we just have to. The countermeasures is it's a neat
A
system.
drone swarm has been released from the Piranesi.
Yeah, that's not what I had
swarm aims
hoped.
to intercept the Tiqqun.
That's not what I had hoped. Here though, we do have some carbon up there that we can go and collect. So let's. We've got all the hydrogen. We still have a lot in storage as well. So you guys go ahead and go for some ice. You guys go for the carbon. You guys can pick up the carbon like that. Sector 4 is bringing in ice and hydrogen, right? So do this and do this, and then you can be ice. And that's good enough for now. Because this MF is about to be shut down. They're avoiding him too, which is good. Biceps might get clipped. No, we're okay. And our battery power, our battery recharge is very important too. Okay, we might have to move again before this drone swarm gets to us. I think we're going to be able to finish it. Let's go.
A cyber attack launched by the Piranesi has disabled several mess halls.
Okay, mess hall's disabled again, but Icarus 3 has detonated and activated the pulsar. The crew of the light bulb has had time to enter cryonic pods before life support infrastructure was neutralized. So there, we have to go pick them up and bring them back. But the ship has been destroyed. On the plus side, the Piranesi is now disabled. Thankfully, all my smaller ships don't go down from that. I truthfully didn't know if that would be an issue. In terms of the fleet, Quicksilver, go ahead and pick up the crew, and then we'll defrost them.
The Piranesi has been defeated.
Yes. Yes. Close transmission. And then we have to rebuild our science ship again. So no matter what, you're going to lose 2 science ships. We have to turn our mess halls back on. So starting in Sector 1, go ahead. In Sector 2, go ahead. Thankfully, it wasn't a meal cycle, so it's okay. Go ahead. and right here. Okay, all of our mess halls are back on. Next food cycle, everyone will be fed. The timing of that was pretty poor, actually. Okay, this makes us... Yeah, this dangerous space weather, which doesn't exist anymore, really. I mean, truthfully, yeah, there really is not much left to do. Recycling polymer provides 5 extra units. We can, yeah, do the loading and unloading a little bit faster at our docks. Last solar panel is just dangerous weather conditions, again, which doesn't exist anymore. I think, yeah, I think we're good. We did very good here. It was weird that our drones just decided to sort of stop working. I think that was a bug, though, because the only way to fix it was to restart the game. It's a little kind of funny. Okay, we're running a surplus of metals now. You love to see it. And Sector 6 transports are bringing in carbon so that we can kind of we can stock back up. And I had this over here that I didn't really even need to use. So yeah, we'll just let those run. Stock this back up. This is fully stocked again. And then Sector 5? Yeah, this is fully stocked in case we need missile defense again. All right, Archimedes and Professor. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. All right, these are brand new, fresh crews. So the Professor, you're gonna head over to the Piranesi because now we can get those coordinates because it's shut down. But I'd be real scared if I was on this crew. The Piranesi has been disabled by the pulse. Its drones have been fried. Its missiles detonated. As the pulse hit, electrical arcs and explosions rippled across the ship's hull, the Tiqqun's crew standing witness all the while. We've successfully entered the Piranesi through a breach in its hull. All the doors and airlocks not damaged by the pulse have closed. Most systems that are visible appear to have melted. The walls ooze a black, gritty oil. Proceed to the coordinates room. We haven't talked that much about the Marduk Council, but like the whole BMS thing, again, we had talked about, I think it was Batista was his name. Like he was the member of the Marduk Council at the beginning who kind of talked about anarchy in space. The Marduk Council, they all have different ideas of like what the goal of expanding into space needs to be. So like some of them talked about genetic conatus, and they have a relationship with the Ashtongites who do genetic bioengineering so that they can live more in harmony with nature, right? So like they worked on that tree that we found on Uranus in the solar system, where they were able to bioengineer a tree that could live in the nature of the planet rather than forcing the planet to accept something living on it, if that makes sense. So you have this idea that it's like self-similar space reveals the pattern trust in genetic conatus. The idea is that these members of the Marduk Council think that we can change the human race to live in harmony with nature on a different planet. And then you have someone who's like, is his name Batista, something like that? Giovanni Batista, who was the founder of this, or a member at least of this black market society, which is basically just like, we're going to do whatever we want in space, and nobody can really hold us accountable, and it's just sort of a new frontier where we can kind of do anything. And then separately, you had the UN, which tried to maintain order on Earth, which ended up becoming super authoritarian, and then everything broke down, and then the UN said, you know what, F it, we're just going to find anybody we can related to DOLOS, and we're gonna kill these MFers because they ruined our planet and our lives. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of the lore. It's just this idea of like all these members of the DOLOS Marduk Council is just all have these kind of odd and differing goals and opinions on what we're doing. And I thought that was worth taking some time to talk about, especially like the Ashtongites, where like the clues are there if you read all the science ship stuff. Especially like that tree that we found in the first chapter. It's not something you think much about, but then when you realize and you look back and you start thinking that, you know, the Ashtongites are all about bioengineering to match the environment that they're in, well, that's the tree that we found on flipping Uranus in the in Chapter 1. It's crazy. So, all right. Body of the beast. The interior of the Piranesi has been severely damaged. Blue fire still flickers in the corners of the ship. Whole areas have collapsed in on themselves. Some of the debris looks almost organic. We have taken pictures of what appears to be biological neural networks seemingly used in the activation of the ship's airlocks. Drones litter the floor and hang from broken piping. On our way to the storage location, we passed a huge translucent pod. Decaying bodies float from the white bath of liquid it contains. You can see the color of their uniforms, crew from the Entimananki. Despite the many obstacles, we have reached the devices that hold the Remus coordinates. We are ready to activate transfer. So keep in mind, the Piranesi is the thing that destroyed the Entimananki, which was a huge, massive superstructure. So we have to connect with the Tiqqun. That's no problem. Send me over. Yes. Dangerous, scary stuff. But we're pretty confident that it's fried, so we're okay. Search the Piranesi again for the Remus coordinates. I'd love to. We got more than enough hydrogen. I like this sector. It's nice having a lot of space. Okay, yeah, we got hydrogen here that can last us for quite a long time. Got plenty of hydrogen here if we need to transfer it, I guess. Algae farm being disabled actually hurts us in terms of food production, but actually it's nice to see we're still at 96.6% coverage. I mean, it immediately kicks us back up, but it's, it's nice to see. Tiqqun's feeling good. We don't need this on. Tiqqun's feeling pretty good. I could probably turn down some of my hydrogen consumption now that I'm saying that. Down to 125 here. This also should be at 125. I could probably lower it even more. Okay, I am going to make space here for a larger battery, but we don't have to build it right now. That's for the future. Can it fit? Yes, it can. I have these extra stockpiles, but I don't need them for anything. I could bring in ice. I mean, it can't hurt. It's just kind of annoying. There's no more hydrogen to pick up, so you guys go and pick up ice, because we have that set up. And honestly, I think we just leave. After we finish this, we're done. Connect the Tiqqun and extract the coordinates. 3 turns.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun. Color me shocked. We're burning through our iron, but we also have all of this stockpiled over here that could be moved around. I don't know why the iron is... It almost feels like it's prioritizing spending the iron here when it doesn't really need to be, but that's all right. Let's go ahead and have Sector 4 request a little bit more polymer. Just to get it out of our stockpiles here. It feels good with everything set up like this. Like, we don't have enough power to turn everything on, but we don't need to. You can see how we're overloaded here. We're going to have to turn these things back to chips so that we can still process the waste. Otherwise, our waste economy could get out of control. If we have a problem, all we have to do is flip our DLS center here and just turn on waste destruction. All the waste gets brought here and it gets destroyed. So that would be fine too. It's not, we're not at risk of anything. We'll have a bunch of extra ice here, I guess. It's not super important, but it, it's fine. I've just been steadily working on batteries in this sector.
An accident has occurred in the
if I haven't made it clear, in Chapter 5, you need a lot of batteries. Transfer is complete. All lights are green. We took advantage of the time it took to recover the coordinates to analyze what was left of the systems on board the Piranesi. The use of its main weapon and the Entimananki's defensive efforts left it terribly weakened. The ship seems to still vibrate, with what perhaps could be called its final breaths. It should not be long before it fully collapses in on itself. We should get as far away as possible. When this amalgamation of evil technology breathes its last at the end of its agony, it could be devastating. Right. Yeah, let's get out of here. I'm just going to jump away. Let's recall our fleet. Again, you don't have to do this. It just feels good to make sure that our ships are en route back to us so that we can leave. And let's charge the IXION engine. So the Piranesi was, it was a BMS ship originally, so it's sort of unclear exactly what happened, but it appears as if their PA just went super rogue. So it'd be the equivalent of as if Eden on the Tiqqun was like, I'm killing you all now. I'm not sure if there are... I'm not sure if there's maybe something in the technology... Well, we can't see it now. I was going to say maybe something in the technology tree to kind of explain what's going on with the Piranesi and like how it ended up the way it ended up, but it turned super hostile, and it seems like it just wants to exterminate literally everyone, because it destroyed the Entimananki, which was UN. But now it wants us too. So, commence jump. And we're off to Sector 5, Chapter 5.
Full jump complete. Running preliminary diagnostics. I sense Remus. We have reached the Ilia system. Structural failure of the Tiqqun is near. We should initiate the Neocond colonization protocol.
We made it. We will investigate this system next time. Thanks everyone for watching. We made it through, we survived the Piranesi, and now we just have to get the heck off of this failing ship, because look at our maximum hull. It's down to 250 HP. You hate to see it. Alright, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.